That on the upcoming 8th of April, there will be a total solar eclipse in the United States, unlike any other. This is because it will occur in cities with biblical names associated with Bible prophecies, and many scholars are saying that exactly on the 8th, the period of the Great Tribulation will begin. This information has caused panic and fear in many people. In fact, many Christians are already stockpiling food and fuel because they do not.
Hello everyone, it is April 2nd, Mercury has gone retrograde. It's probably still in frozen mode just because it just happened less or 8+ hours ago. We're getting ready for this eclipse. It's going to happen on April 8th here in the USA. After all the times in my life that I've talked about an eclipse, I didn't want to miss this one. I mean, it would be really stupid to miss this, right? Because this is the one that everyone in America is paying attention to. Anyways, so what's amazing about this is just that for all the other times in my life that I've ever tried to interpret the meanings of this eclipse has sort of like multiple meanings for lots of different opinions for different people. Oh, this is so shaky. Hope my video doesn't come out that way. And you know, I was really happy to hear all those stories, but I really did have my own take on that. And I really do believe that it's a time of illumination of certain psychological patterns within ourselves, what we see in others. I say this because Chiron that is here, it's about the healing, wounded healing, healing that never heals. But healing that becomes something that you're able to sort of like heal others with. It seems almost contradicting just because of the fact that if it's a wounded healer that never heals, how can the person who can't heal others? Well, the truth is that there are times that we crack a code. We come up against a wall for our entire lifetime, never knowing where, how, and if, or what even is the problem that we're facing sometimes in our own selves, in our environment. They show up a lot in personal relationships. They show up in a time that you have to be in a team with others, because it does require that you have some sort of authentic self that has certain things that it brings to the table and it doesn't have available to it, and so therefore we need the other. However, there are times in our lives where we would have a parent, we would have an employer, we would have these figures in our lives that are put there to groom us as we go through our lives. We face certain things after those relationships are over, and we have to learn a lot of things after that because of the fact that not every one experience gives you everything that you need to know about life. And especially if the ones that you have are with a parent or parents, you're still having to go outside of yourself at that point in time to still put parts of the real authentic parts of who you are. In this eclipse, we have Aries, which rules the head, and we have Chiron, which is about wounded. So, of course, physical wounds is a thing, but if we're dealing with astrology, we're dealing with the psychological body of ourselves. Therefore, we have some psychological woundings that will never ever be healed, but could be revealed in this time of a Mercury retrograde and a solar eclipse lighting or taking this off in Aries. And this is the opportunity here. I did a tarot card reading, which is one of the other things that I do that I've just recently added, because it was that time in my life after studying astrology since 2007. You really do get to that point of where part astrology, yes, is all of the text of everything that you would have to learn and discern as you sort of like use it for yourself and tell other people about those things as well. The psychological part of of importance I found in my tarot cards was that we finally see what we couldn't have seen for many years. I find that people would see this now in other people, and you will see it for what it is, and you're going to have to accept this wound that this person can't heal. And what does it really mean for you? And no one's not going to judge anyone, but guess what? It's also Aries. It's black or white. It's yes or no. And that's the challenge here within the last 30 days in this Mercury retrograde. It isn't so much that we're just going to choose some destination and ram through the Aries. We can't. We really do have to take this time. Yeah, it's great to have that inspiration, but just guess what? Pluto at 1 degree, going on to 2 degrees, is going to return to Capricorn at 29 degrees. What that really means is that we're still going to be dealing with the same people and situations. So how do we deal with them now? We truly don't know. But the best thing ever is to see what your psychological block has been in yourself and with others, and what you couldn't really just kind of come to understand for all these years. I want to say this is a gift of this eclipse, was that in Aries, the head, and with Chiron going on at the same time at that solar eclipse, that we are moving beyond these psychological battles that we've been facing within ourselves and with our environment and the people that have been put in place in our lives for a long time. Not sure where it's going, and we're saying goodbye to them, but just know the wound will never be healed, and they can't help it. Mental illness is what I'm talking about, baby. People are mental in your world. You'll find out that you're mental in your own world. And now we're going to be dealing with those psychological situations now, because they should be just illuminated for everyone to see, and mostly yourself. That was my eclipse take. That's what I think that is going to happen throughout this whole thing. In my case, it's my 4th and 10th house, which happens to be my home and my outside world. And to be honest with you, the polarity between the two parts of where I face some of my own issues happen to be those dominant places. And I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go, and I'm sure no one else is going to know where it's going to go. I would like to say that it's okay to go slow. All the things that's meant to happen and to go in life is going to happen anyway. It doesn't really matter how much resistance you put, but how many acceptance you are willing to give yourself to have this. But I would say this: many people have called this eclipse biblical, and they've had stories about Jonas and the whale because of the 3 things. To be real with you, I do feel that in some places the story of Moses crossing over that river, even though we're talking about water, or sea I should say, is more like sort of the thing I feel inside of me is another great story. God, we're coming out of a whole mental situation in Aries, but we're dealing with AI and Pluto in Aquarius, which is an air sign. This is going to catch on to something completely different. We're going to be really in charge of our mental health from this point on, and it's going to be a serious situation. Anyways, thank you for watching this channel. My channel and my love for astrology really came from the eclipses and how they had an effect on the earth, like an earthquake. This solar eclipse is an earth sign. Sure, volcanoes and earthquakes are definitely a part of this, but there's a devil's comet as well that's going to be part of this, I guess. And I really thought that when the lights go off, we might be able to actually see parts of that. That's something I'm fascinating to see. However, I'm not one of those people who are going to go outside and put on our glasses as much as I like those eclipses, and I'll tell you why. I do what the animals do, you know. We run for cover, we sit, and we pray, because this is a time where, honestly, this is beyond us. we honor, this is an acceleration of time. You treat it as such. So if your nighttime came in 3 hours, take your nighttime. Those are the rules of nature. Although, there is this video out there where it shows where nature actually really just took this event in the multiple ways that a human person would do. Whether you don't know, you're scared, you're interested, or you're like, what the F? Anyways, have a nice day. I hope you enjoy this eclipse as well. I hope that you do get something like this, and maybe it does, but I would definitely add my tarot reading at the end of this reading because of the fact that it really coincides with what I believe and what I've seen kind of play out for the last week since I've done that reading I did. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so continuing from yesterday. When I started off with the acceleration card, it's 8. 4/8 is a day of this eclipse, right? But then another card that appeared was the Hope card, right? That was the next card that was shuffled over. And as you can notice, 7 plus 1 is 8. And then the last card was this. It was 8. I got 888, guys. And so when I pulled out the other 2 8s that didn't show up, which was Trapped in Fear and Emotional Withdrawal and Positive Movement Forward, you realize here that reading was for real. Another correlation is that this says San Antonio, Texas, dude. And like, I'm just saying that I just started using this mug again. I have another mug that I use. It says, it's just a phase. It's a moon mug. But suddenly I just wanted to use this. It just had the right cup of coffee for me. That's on April 8th. Eclipse coming across Texas, and I want to see if San Antonio is there.